20 years after she denied to a grand jury that R. Kelly had sex with her as a girl and recorded some of their encounters, the now-grown woman took the stand Thursday to reverse her testimony. Pseudonym Jane is one of 5 minors who prosecutors allege Kelly sexually abused in the late 1990s, making explicit videos with 4 of them. Kelly faces charges including producing and receiving child pornography, enticing minors to engage in criminal sexual activity, and obstruction charges. He has pleaded not guilty. Speaking in federal court in Chicago under the pseudonym Jane, the 37-year-old only looked at Kelly once during her testimony when asked to identify him. Kelly kept his gaze lowered to the defense table throughout her time on the stand. Prosecutors showed recordings that Jane testified showed Kelly engaging in sex acts with her. At times, Jane began to cry during her time on the stand.
Keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel to be in touch for more future videos.
An attorney for Kelly asked jurors during opening statements Wednesday to scrutinize why Jane is coming forward now and changing her testimony from 2 decades ago. Attorney for Kelly said, for the last 22 years, she has adamantly denied that it was her in that video. Before there was any criminal investigation, she denied it. She denied it repeatedly to prosecutors. She denied it to social workers, to police officers. She denied it under oath to a grand jury. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jean Nice-Apenting asked her, "How old were you when the sexual acts depicted in those recordings occurred?" She answered, 14. She testified Kelly began engaging in sex acts with her when she was 14 and had sexual intercourse with her starting when she was 15 hundreds of times before she turned 18. On the witness stand Thursday, Jane said she is testifying under immunity because she lied under oath to a 2002 grand jury about her sexual relationship with Kelly and whether she appears in the explicit video recordings with him. She said, "If I correct my mistakes by telling the truth, I won't be prosecuted." The Assistant U.S. Attorney Jean Nice-Apenting asked Jane at another point, "Why were you untruthful?" She answered, "Because I was afraid to expose Robert. Because I was afraid of what might happen to my parents. I also did not want that person to be me." As a young teen, Jane traveled the world with a Christian hip-hop group whose members were cousins of hers. Prosecutors asked her not to name the group in order to protect her identity. "I was living my dream," Jane testified. Her aunt, known professionally as Sparkle, worked with R. Kelly and had a romantic relationship with him. It was Sparkle who introduced Jane to Kelly when Jane was 12 or 13 years old at a gospel concert for her church, she testified. Weeks later, Kelly came to one of her group's concerts. Jane testified, "He was telling me how great of a job I did. I felt successful. I felt happy." Shortly after they met, Jane said she began spending more time with Kelly and Sparkle. She would watch Kelly and Sparkle record music and talk about basketball and music with Kelly. Jane testified she was 13 when Sparkle suggested Jane should ask Kelly to play a bigger role in her life. Jane said, "She told me that I should ask him to be my godfather." Sparkle is expected to testify later in the trial. Jane said Kelly chuckled and agreed to be her godfather, and within weeks, their relationship became sexual. Kelly would talk to her on the phone and ask, "What color panties are you wearing?" and about my breasts growing and that I need to be wearing bras, Jane testified. When Kelly became her godfather, Jane testified that her parents felt comfortable letting her stay the night or even the weekend at his home without her parents or aunt present. "They would pretty much drop me off and then leave," Jane testified. Jane testified also that she was 14 years old when Kelly's sexualized comments became actions. She said Kelly began touching her breasts and vaginal area while touching himself one night when they were at his recording studio. The touching, she testified, quickly turned into oral sex and other sex acts, and she lost her virginity to him when she was 15. Jane spoke softly as Apenting asked her to describe one act shown in a video. Apenting asked, On what part of your body did he urinate? Jane said, quietly, my vagina.
Thank you for watching. Please share your opinion about this topic. See you soon.